Rest in peace.
That's right. Send the healing energy to his family for sure.
Condolences, absolutely.
51 is too young.
Way too young.
That's way too young to go. 51?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Jesse Powell was a gifted R&B singer, best known for his soul-stirring vocals and the timeless hit You, a track that still resonates with fans decades after its release. Emerging in the late 1990s, Powell quickly gained a reputation for his impressive 4-octave vocal range and emotionally charged performances. With a sound that blended classic soul with 90s R&B smoothness, he carved out a loyal fan base, even if mainstream recognition often eluded him. Despite his undeniable talent, Powell's journey through the music industry was far from smooth. From whispers of industry neglect to an untimely and still mysterious death in 2022, his story is one of brilliance shadowed by quiet controversy. Though adored for his voice, the path Jesse Powell walked, and the silence surrounding certain aspects of his life, continues to raise questions even after his tragic passing.
Well, rest in peace to Jesse Powell, and our condolences go out to his family. He unfortunately passed away. He was only 51 years old.
Hi, everyone. My condolences to the family of Jesse Powell, a great singer who made his transition. Many people miss.
Despite a voice that could rival some of R&B's greatest, Jesse Powell never quite reached the commercial heights many felt he deserved. His breakout single, You, peaked at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, and became a beloved slow jam classic. Yet the momentum never fully carried into a sustained mainstream presence.
I just wanna be yours.
For an artist with his vocal prowess, a rare 4-octave range, many fans and industry insiders have long wondered, why wasn't Jesse Powell a household name? Some point to label mismanagement and poor promotion, suggesting his talent was not adequately backed by the marketing power he needed. Signed to Silas/MCA Records, Powell released several solid albums, but none received the push typically afforded to breakout R&B stars of his era. Others speculate that industry politics, including shifting trends in music and internal label priorities, may have contributed to Powell being quietly sidelined. Social media has since become a space for fans to voice their frustrations. Many argue Powell was consistently overlooked by major award shows, including the Grammys and the American Music Awards, despite critical praise and a loyal fan base. Some have even gone as far as to accuse the industry of blacklisting Powell, not due to scandal, but perhaps due to his quiet demeanor, lack of tabloid presence, and unwillingness to conform to the commercial mold. To his supporters, Powell's career represents a cautionary tale of how raw talent can be buried beneath industry politics. Whether the result of oversight or intentional neglect, the fact remains, Jesse Powell was one of R&B's finest voices, left too often in the shadows. Music ran deep in the Powell household. Jesse Powell wasn't the only member of his family to pursue a career in R&B. His younger sisters, Trina and Tamara Powell, also found success in the 1990s as the duo Trina and Tamara, known for their hit single, What Did You Come Here For? The siblings even collaborated at times, showing off their shared musical chemistry. But behind the scenes, their creative partnership wasn't always harmonious. While the public often saw them as a close-knit musical family, insiders have hinted at creative tension that brewed beneath the surface. With all three siblings trying to establish individual identities in a competitive industry, there were rumors of sibling rivalry, particularly over attention from labels and producers. Jesse's more soulful, traditional R&B style sometimes clashed with his sister's edgier, contemporary approach, leading to artistic differences that allegedly strained their collaboration. Adding fuel to the fire were claims of disputes over songwriting credits and performance rights. Some fans noted that certain tracks bore similarities across their projects, sparking speculation about shared or uncredited contributions. Though never confirmed publicly, whispers of behind-the-scenes disagreements suggested a deeper rift, one that may have impacted how freely they worked together in their later careers. Despite the speculation, none of the Powells ever aired their differences in public. Their family loyalty remained intact to the end. But the unspoken distance in their professional lives led many to wonder what could have been if those creative differences had been resolved, or if they were simply a natural part of being a family trying to navigate fame together. After the early 2000s, Jesse Powell seemed to quietly vanish from the music scene, leaving fans puzzled and concerned. His third album, JP, had shown promise, and although his fourth project, Jesse, arrived in 2003, it failed to make a commercial impact. From there, Powell all but disappeared. No tours, no new music, no media appearances. For an artist with such an extraordinary gift, his sudden retreat from the spotlight was both unexpected and unexplained. This silence led to widespread speculation. Some suggested he had grown disillusioned with the music industry, citing possible label disputes or creative burnout after years of trying to break through mainstream barriers. Others pointed to potential personal struggles, including whispers of mental health challenges or issues in his private life that may have contributed to his reclusion. Without any official statements or interviews, the vacuum only deepened the mystery. The media offered little clarity. In an era increasingly driven by digital exposure, Powell's absence was stark, and it fueled a wave of conspiracy theories online. Some fans speculated that he had been silenced by the industry, while others floated more extreme claims ranging from secret health battles to conflicts that forced him into hiding. None of these theories were ever substantiated, but in the absence of facts, they thrived in fan forums and social media threads. What is clear is that Jesse Powell chose privacy over publicity during his later years. Whether it was for peace, protection, or personal healing, his decision to step away only added to the enigmatic aura that has come to surround his life, and sadly, his death.
Rest in peace.
That's right. Sending healing energy to his family for sure.
Condolences, absolutely.
51 is too young.
Way too young.
That's way too young to go. 51? Jesus Christ.
When news broke on September 13th, 2022, that Jesse Powell had passed away at just 51 years old, the R&B world was stunned. The official cause of death was stated as cardiac arrest, but the lack of details surrounding the circumstances only deepened public unease. For a singer known for his vocal power and largely absent from scandal, his sudden death left fans grasping for answers and asking difficult questions. Powell's family released a brief statement confirming his death, but no in-depth medical or toxicology reports were made public. This silence, while perhaps intended to preserve privacy, created space for speculation and doubt. Fans and some members of the music community questioned how such a seemingly healthy individual, who had never been known to have serious medical issues, could pass so abruptly without warning signs. In the days that followed, online forums and social media were flooded with theories. Some wondered if Powell had battled an undisclosed illness in private, while others suggested potential medical negligence, or even more sensational claims of foul play or a cover-up. Although no evidence has ever emerged to support such theories, the void of transparency only added to the sense of unease. In a world where celebrity deaths often come with media autopsies and public statements, Powell's quiet passing felt both dignified and suspicious to some. More than anything, the circumstances of his death left a painful truth lingering. Fans never got real closure. Without a public farewell or definitive narrative, Jesse Powell's passing remains a subject of both grief and mystery, amplifying the sense that his story, like his talent, was never fully seen or understood. In the wake of Jesse Powell's death, tributes poured in from across the music world. Streaming numbers for his signature ballad, You, surged. Social media was flooded with heartfelt posts, and R&B fans shared memories of how Powell's music had soundtracked weddings, heartbreaks, and quiet moments of reflection. But amid the outpouring of grief came a more bitter undercurrent, a collective sense that this recognition came far too late. For many longtime fans, the industry's sudden embrace of Powell, after years of relative silence, felt hollow. They pointed out how major award shows and music outlets largely ignored him during his prime, and how streaming platforms hadn't highlighted his catalog until after his passing. Social media became a battleground, with some calling out what they viewed as fake love, public praise from artists, DJs, and industry figures who had never previously acknowledged Powell's work. The backlash was particularly sharp toward media outlets and performers who had omitted him from R&B retrospectives, playlists, and live events over the years. A few notable tributes were even deemed performative or opportunistic, especially when coming from individuals who had never collaborated with him or championed his artistry while he was alive. Some fans went so far as to call it clout mourning, a term used to describe performative grief for public approval. This posthumous attention, while a sign of Powell's lasting impact, also became a painful reminder of how talent can be celebrated in death but ignored in life. For those who had supported him from the beginning, it was validation, but also vindication for years of calling out his underappreciation. In death, Jesse Powell's voice was finally given the spotlight it always deserved. The tragedy is that it took his absence to make people listen. Jesse Powell's story is one of immense talent wrapped in quiet tragedy, a voice of gold, silenced too soon, and largely underappreciated during his lifetime. He gave the world timeless music, poured emotion into every note, and maintained dignity in an industry that often demands compromise. Yet, despite his gifts, Powell's journey was marked more by silence than spotlight, more by cult admiration than mainstream acclaim. His untimely death has reignited conversations not only about his legacy, but about how the music industry treats its artists, especially those who don't conform to the trends or chase fame at any cost. Powell's story is a poignant reminder of how many great talents fall through the cracks, not for lack of ability, but for lack of access, support, or visibility. In remembering Jesse Powell, we're not just mourning a beloved voice, we're confronting a larger truth. How many artists like him are out there, unheard and unseen? How many Jesse Powells has the industry quietly failed? If anything good is to come from his passing, it should be this: a renewed commitment to honoring artistry, not just when it's gone, but while it still lives, breathes, and sings among us.